All right, folks, let's start off laying down. So close your eyes, relax the back of your body onto the floor, and just breathe. Allow your breath to take up all of your awareness. Focus on lengthening the inhale, dragging out the exhale. Allow your body to expand across the front, the sides, the back. Okay, like you're inflating outward on the inhale. And use the muscles of your torso to compress inward on the exhale. So when we breathe deeply like this and we use all of the musculature of the torso and the rib cage and the back, we warm it. And it's a great massage, okay, from the inside. It's really the best massage you can get. Okay, using all that back tissue, belly tissue, chest tissue. As a bonus, when you activate your strong muscles that wrap around your belly, it allows your low back to release. So when we activate the muscles in front, we get an involuntary release in the back. Notice the roar sound that the breath makes in your ears. And I like to start the beginning of the practice with some breath work, but I think that pairs really well with some imaginative time. Okay. So use your imagination here. I want you to imagine that on your inhales, you're pulling in, okay, from the universe around you, everything that you're seeking, whatever it is. Things you dream about, things you strive toward, things you look for, everything you need, pulling in on the inhale into your lungs. With your exhales, let everything go that does not suit your purposes. Maybe things you've outgrown. These could be mental patterns, physical patterns. Who knows, okay? Inhaling, bring in what you need. Exhaling, let go of what you don't. Well, let's bring in a little movement here. Take your arms out to the side like cactus arms. So put a bend in your elbows, let the backs of your hands drop on the floor, and maybe even tuck your shoulder blades kind of satisfyingly down underneath your heart so that you feel your chest get a little bigger. And we'll start dropping the knees like windshield wipers side to side. Starting to bring a little bit warmth and movement to your hips and low back. And you can activate this more or less as suits your vibe today. And the next time your knees point up, pause. And let's make this twist a little deeper. Pick your feet up off the floor so your knees are together. And then keeping your arms and your shoulder blades really super grounded and heavy, hover your knees over to one side. Just a hover, look away from your knees, and take a full breath in and out. Inhale back to center. And hover your legs on the other side. Look away from them, full breath in and out. Inhale back through center. Exhale to the side. And now let's move breath by breath. Inhaling through center. Exhaling to the other side. So you keep going just like this. Just follow the pace of your breath. Looking away from your knees, we'll pull this twist all the way up to the base of your skull. So even those little tiny muscles that stabilize your skull get some movement here. A few more times side to side. Notice how this feels in your spine. It should feel really good. Next time your knees drop to the right, pause and let them drop all the way, okay? And then turn all the way out to the right. So feel free to fidget yourself back onto your mat. Let your head rest on the floor, and let's make a sandwich shape on the right. So your knees are stacked, right or left over right. Your hands are stacked left over right. So are your shoulders and your hips. And then once you've stacked yourself neatly, lift your side body away from the floor. Okay, so that there's a little bit of space under your right side and your spine is very neutral. So it's not sagging toward the floor. Okay, so keep that long neutral spine. Feel free to make little adjustments to cultivate that. And then we'll start to twist from here. So now really grounding your right shoulder blade, put the left fingers on the ground and draw a big circle, half circle, I should say, over your head, until you're reaching out to the left. And then as you exhale, bring it back around to the right. Okay, so let's take a few more like that. Inhaling to twist open, tracing that half circle over your head. Then exhale to close it up. Bring it back around. Maybe close your eyes. We'll just do this a few more times, okay? I want you to find a lot of spaciousness in your chest here. So as you twist open and look over to the left, imagine that you're trying to do a back bend, that you're trying to arch your spine away from the floor as you send your left shoulder blade to the ground. So play around with that feeling, kind of an archy twist. Next time you open up into that left-facing twist, let's just enjoy that and pause there for a little while. So ground that left shoulder blade. And again, think of arching your back up off the floor as you ground in that shoulder blade. Breathe. Maybe the right hand holds a knee. Find a whole lot of extra space in the left side of your chest. And remember to employ your belly muscles on the exhale. Pull the belly button in. As you're ready, rock your knees back through center and we'll just drop them to the left, okay? Drop them to the left and then sandwich shape all the way out to the left. And I'll actually spin around to meet you here. So stack everything nice and neat. right knee, ankle, hip, shoulder, hand all stacked over left. And then make sure your spine is long. So we want a little bit of a lift in the left side so that the spine doesn't sag down toward the floor. Okay. And then right fingertips on the floor, we'll draw a half circle overhead. So inhaling into your big circle, open it up. And exhaling as you close it up. And let's take a few more breaths like that. Inhale to open into your twist. Exhale to close it up. As you twist open, imagine arching your back upward at the same time as you ground that right shoulder blade. And next time you open it up into your twist, let's hold right there. Okay. Looking out to the right, ground that right shoulder blade, lift your back up off the floor. Breathe big space into the right side of the chest. Okay. Big chest inhales. Strong belly exhales. Maybe one more breath here. And then we'll swing the legs back in through center. Okay, bring them back in. Your feet are planted by your hips. Now your knees are pointed up. Go ahead and drop your hands by your hips. And we'll lift the hips all the way up to the ceiling, okay? Put a nice press down in your feet, nice press down in your arms. Hips will come up on the inhale. Think of expanding your front body toward the ceiling. Then down on the exhale. Keep it going. Inhale up. And exhale down. Okay, as you move, think of keeping your spine as long as you can. So the tailbone's always trying to move away from the top of your head. And do your best to keep your nose pointed up and a tennis ball of space between your knees and your chin and your chest. And as you move now, begin to think of rolling the spine up one vertebra at a time and setting it down one at a time. Ultimate control. Maybe next time you come up, let's hold there for a little while. Just enjoy it. Come on up and let's hold right here. So put some engagement in your core here. Draw the knees toward each other. Press into the feet and also press into your upper body. Okay, press down into the floor. And maybe if you want a nice opening for the front of your shoulders, join your hands underneath you and maybe scoot your shoulders under your heart here. Think of pressing the floor down and peeling open your front body toward the sky. I want you to feel a lot of space across your shoulders and the front, across your hips too. One more big breath in. As you exhale, see if you could roll down slowly. Release your hands, just one vertebra at a time. Coming back down. When your hips land, bring your knees in and give them a hug. You can rock your low back around on the floor here. Okay. You maybe grab one knee in each hand and kind of stir your hips around. make sure you take them the other way a few times. And then tuck your hands behind your knees and give yourself a rock all the way up. So come on up. Go ahead and point your knees out to the left. So knees point to the left, your feet will point to the right. And then if you line your left shin up with the front of your mat or the space that you're looking out toward, whatever direction you're looking, go ahead and point your right toes behind you. And then your left toes will tickle your right knee, and you have this nice little triangle shape. Okay, so we'll get a little bit more into the sides of the body. Go ahead and drop your left hand on the left. Push against the floor and sweep that right hand overhead. Take a big breath in here, big space into that right side, right hip flexor. Okay, big spaciousness. And exhale to bring it down. Other side. This time the hips stay down. Inhaling, left side opens up. And then exhale to bring it down. And let's go like that a few times, side to side. Inhale, right side up. Exhale down. Left side. And exhale. I like doing this with my eyes closed, okay? It's a safe movement. We're not worried about falling here. Maybe one more time. Okay, feels nice in the low back and the sides of the body. Next time your hands are down, let's pause. And then extend your right leg. Put the outer edge of the right foot on the floor, and you should feel your right ankle. It feels really nice on that outer edge of your right foot as well. And then press into the floor and come on up. Put that left knee underneath your left hip. Coming up into a supported side plank. Now we feel the whole right side can really extend and open up. So while we're here, let's just open up the right shoulder and get it nice and warm. Extend through the right arm, but also pull back. So everything is active in the right arm. Even the left arm is a little bit bent and active. And let's just circle it out. You want to feel some gentle warmth building in that right shoulder. Let's rewind that. Okay, next time you've got that right arm up, pause right there and just breathe. You might spend some time reaching the right hand away from the right foot and just kind of opening up into the right side. You might bend that right elbow and peel your right armpit open if you want more of a chest opener. Okay, so I'm just giving you some options to play around with. One more option I'll give you to play with, if you want to really open up in that right hip flexor in the front of the right shoulder, you can pick up your right leg, bend that knee, and point the toe at the back of your head. So you feel that you've extended your spine here. So you want to pull your belly button in to make sure your low back is not overextending. And then maybe the right hand can find the right foot. I would say grab the outside of your ankle. And if you've got it, go ahead and push it away from you. Keep the belly button wrapping in and enjoy a nice opening feeling in the front of your right shoulder and hip. Wherever you are is perfect. Breathe. Maybe look up if you want to challenge your balance a little bit more. One more big breath right here. And then come out with control, the same way you came in, okay? Have a seat just where we started. And we'll swing the legs through center so that all the feet are now on the left and all the knees are now on the right. And we'll just switch sides. So go ahead and line your right shin up with the front of the mat or the front of your space and point your left toes behind you. And then if you put your right foot on your left knee, then you have a little triangle shape. So drop your right hand beside you. Big side opening as the knees press down, the left side opens up. Exhale when you come down. Inhale when you switch sides, okay? Just like we did on the other side. So nice and slow. Close your eyes, set your own pace. Find a great opening in your sides, your low back, your hip flexors, your armpits and shoulders. If you could make your spine a little longer with each breath here, how would that feel? Maybe one more time. Next time your hands are down, let's transition to a supported side plank. So lengthen that left leg, drop the outer edge of the left foot to the floor, and then press up into your side plank. Okay, move the right knee so it's more ideal. Usually you're going to want it under your right knee, and it's nice to have the toes pointed behind you for a kickstand. So take a moment to fidget yourself into place. Make it just right. And then we'll strengthen that left arm. So I want you to think of reaching out and pulling back at the same time. Do the same with the right. And let's circle out the left shoulder. Looking for some pleasant warmth in that shoulder. Rewind it. And then pause that left arm back at center. And we'll spend some time here. Okay, I'll give you the same options here. So feel free to explore. Just play around with something new maybe. So if you like more length in the left side, then you might reach the left hand away from the left foot. If you fancy more of a chest and armpit opening, cactus your left arm and spiral your chest open to the ceiling here. You'll get that big chest feeling. If you fancy more of a left hip opener, go ahead and get the left leg up. Wrap the belly button in to protect your low back. And then you can bend that knee and reach back for the ankle. Kick it away and pull it in at the same time. Kick away and pull it in and maybe look up. Remember to breathe. Always kind of moving toward your level of intensity, whatever vibe your practice is cultivating today. One more breath. And release with control. Come out the same way you came in. Have another seat. Come on down. And let's get the legs out in front. Okay, put your feet together. Find a nice little butterfly shape. Okay, Baddha Konasana, bound angle pose. So sit up nice and tall here. If it's hard to sit up tall, don't worry. Just lean back a little bit. Maybe take your knees up away from the floor or try adjusting the position of your feet. But if you can, start walking your fingers so that they're out beside you. Maybe close your eyes here. Allow the knees to fall as heavily as you can allow. Maybe your fingers start to walk forward. And imagine that you could draw your shoulder blades so close down your back that it would propel your heart forward. So with each inhale, maybe your spine gets a little longer. With each exhale, the heart moves a little closer toward where your toes are. And always you're lengthening the spine as you fold. Do support your upper body with something, even if it's just your fingertips on the ground. Maybe your elbows come down. Maybe even your head drops. But make sure your neck is long on all sides, and so is your torso. allow this sensation in your low back to be really nice. Big opening in your low back. All the way up to the base of your skull. Maybe one more big breath here. And then start walking yourself up and out of this. So walk your hands back over by your hips. And we'll pick up this right foot and stack it on top of the left knee. Okay, so at this point, if you need to lean back and kind of back out of this, you can. That's not a problem. Want to flex your ankles here. So put a nice flex in your ankles. And then think of trying to soften your knees toward each other. So if it's really uncomfortable, keep in mind, you have a way out. You can just straighten the bottom leg, okay? Bottom leg can straighten out. But if everything's going great and you feel like you can soften the legs toward each other, sit up nice and tall. And just breathe right here. Okay? Continue to flex your feet. And continue to imagine that your legs are magnetically attracted to each other. So they're melting together to be as one. And it may be that your fingertips walk forward a little bit. You may even find that you're comfortable coming down to your elbows, but you don't need to force it. There's really no goal here at all. Your main concern is you want to feel really good in your hips, your outer hip, your glutes, your low back. Looking for some good release there. And of course, continue to cultivate your long spine. Extend as you fold. From here, walk your hands out to the right. Okay, take your hands out over to the right. You can walk them as far as you like. Okay, continue to try to press your legs together and notice how this feels in your back and your left outer hip. Breathe. And then walk your hands back through center and over to the left. Same idea. Keep the legs heavy toward each other. Take the hands as far as you want. And breathe into your back body. Breathe into the backs of your ribs. Remember, long spine, long as you can. Big exhales. And then bring it on back to center here. Okay, go ahead and pick up your right knee now. Point it up so that your right foot falls to the floor outside your left knee. And then scooch the right foot close back towards your left hip. And then see if you want to pull that left foot a little closer. Our goal is to sit down between our feet. So use your fingers interlaced around your right knee here to help yourself to a nice tall spine. Make sure both hips are nice and grounded. And then we'll just use this left arm to hold the right leg. The right hands can come behind you. Push the floor for an extra long spine. And start to look over that right shoulder. Long spine inhales. Belly button to spine, exhale. Maybe one more breath here. If you want to deepen it, you can take that left elbow to the outside of the right knee and kind of press them into each other. All right, let's let it go and bring it back to center. And then take both your feet out front again. Okay, feet are back together, back in your little butterfly shape. See if you notice anything different in your legs, your hips, and your low back. And we'll switch sides. So we'll pick up this left foot and stack it on top of the right knee. We'll just do everything the same, but opposite. So if you need to back out, just lean back. And if you still need to back out, just extend your right leg. Okay, same idea, just a lot more gentle. If everything's going great, flex your ankles big time, strong flex, and think of softening your two legs together, melting into each other. Okay, it might be intense in your hips. And in general, intensity is okay as long as it decreases with time. If you feel pain that increases over time, back out, take a break. We don't want that, okay? We don't want pain that increases. If you can lean into it, go for it. Go ahead and lean forward. Think of always lengthening your heart forward. Staying long on all sides of the neck and all sides of the torso. Continue to soften those legs toward each other. And take your time here. There's no rush. You have all the time in the world to let this posture do its magic. Maybe coming down to your elbows is appropriate today, but it's not necessary. You're really just looking for some extra space, okay? If you find some extra space, then you got what we came for. And then start to walk your hands out to the left. Take them as far as you like. You can even take them slightly behind you. As long as your fingertips are on the floor, you're all good. Just lengthen that spine and breathe into the back side of your body. All that shoulder blade meat back there, okay? All the ribs. One more breath. And start walking the hands through center. All the way over to the right, even behind you if that works. Breathe into that back side, okay? All the left side of the rib cage and all the way down to the low back. Bring it back in through center here. And then pick up your left knee, point it up so that the left foot slides to the floor outside the right knee. And then maybe you pull the foot back a little bit. Maybe you bring the right foot a little closer. So our goal is to sit down on both hips here. So you can interlace your fingers around your left knee and sit up nice and tall for a moment. Just get your bearings here. So we're cultivating a twist out of this little seated posture. So as you're ready, use your right arm to hold the left leg. Squeeze it tight. And look over your left shoulder. Left fingers can push the ground to make you extra tall. Big inhales into the left side of your chest. Big exhales, belly button to spine. Use this twist to massage your organs and your whole back from the inside. And if you want a little extra here, you can take the right elbow to the outer left knee and press them into each other. One more breath. Bring it back around to center here. Okay, take all your legs around front here. Shake them out. And if it's hard for you to sit up straight with your legs long, no problem. Just put a bend in your knees, okay? Not a problem at all. Nice and long in your spine. And whether your legs are bent or straight, okay, if you can fully extend your legs, awesome, but still put a little micro bend in your knees. Pull your kneecaps up towards your hips so your quads are engaged. Okay, a little secret here. If you engage the top of your legs, your quadriceps, it allows your hamstrings to release. So use that to your advantage. Pull those kneecaps up towards your hips. Allow the hamstrings to let go. And just start to, same idea here with your long spine. Just start to walk your fingertips forward. Finding length with each inhale. And moving the heart a little bit further forward on your exhales. Okay, you might stay upright here if you feel like your spine is starting to kind of crunch into a macaroni shape. Okay, we want more of a spaghetti than a macaroni. Think of pulling back on your pinky toes here as you press into the ball mount of your big toes. And your toes are trying to touch your nose. At some point, you might drop your head, but keep the neck long, please. Keep the torso long. Maybe one more breath here in your fold. And then start to walk yourself up and out of this. And very, very slowly, could we keep this going? Round your spine and roll yourself all the way down. Super slow, control it. Point your tailbone at your toes. As you unfurl all the way down. Allow your shoulder blades to really ground, and we'll bring the knees in here and just take one very happy baby pose. So you can start off by just grabbing your knees and pulling them down toward the ground. And you can experiment with making them wider or narrower and notice how your hips are feeling about this. Ground those shoulder blades and allow the space in the hips to open up. If all is going well, you can take your hands inside your knees and grab your shins. Pull the shins down toward the ground. Check out how that feels. Maybe rock a little bit. And then if still feeling good about it, you can bring your hands to your ankles, pull them down. Make sure to keep your tailbone and your shoulder blades grounded. And if everything's still going great, grab the outsides of your feet. Pull them down. So play around here. I want you to kind of rock and wiggle and then play around with extending your knees a little bit. So try extending your knees, moving the feet away and then back in. Notice how this feels in the backs of your legs, okay, your hamstrings. And then try extending just one, okay, just one at a time. And notice if you just extend one, does it give you a little bit more space to extend? Most of the time it will. So play with that. One leg extends, and the other leg extends. And maybe after a few rounds of that, you'd like to try extending both. Now this can be a partial or a full extension, you decide. Next time your feet come in toward each other, plant your feet together like a sandwich. Interlace your fingers around both feet or your knees if your knees are more appropriate for you to grab today. And just spend a little time moving those feet toward your heart. Let's take a little time here just to breathe. Shoulder blades and tailbone down. One more breath. Pull those feet in. As you're ready, release all of your legs and all of your arms onto the floor. And just rest here in Shavasana or any other resting posture that suits you. Eyes closed, breathing through your nose. The breath is effortless. The body is effortless. The thoughts drift by like clouds. You'll spend this time just soaking up the magic of your practice. Just being still. Please keep resting just like this for as long as you can. Maybe take a little nap if you can. Thank you so much for joining me.